I think we've all had that moment when we're looking at games and find one that just makes us think, you know? Like, what? I mean it, like, what? Like, what? Yes, that's right, we're talking about those games. The Xavier Renegade Angels of video games. The games that only kind of make sense if you squint your eyes and look away. The 3 games I'll be covering today pride themselves on how out of the box they are, whether that be in design or just straight up crackhead energy. These games make us really wonder, when does a game get too custom? Is being unique actually a selling point? And how do you even pronounce Nina Aquila? Aquila. Nina Aquila Legal Eagle, which I'm not even sure is a real thing.
Hey, what's up everyone? It's Ed here, and sure enough, it's a real term used by real people out there in the universe, and it means exactly what you would expect it to mean, so that's awesome. I also found out that it's the name of a YouTube channel, a very popular YouTube channel, actually. So, you know, it's a double whammy for me. Whatever, back to the video.
Is a weird game to talk about. Like, it's kind of good. I kind of like it. It just kind of has a lot of scuff on it that I really wish wasn't there. It's the smaller things, barring the gameplay, which we'll get to it. Everything else is just pretty close to being really good. So Nina Aquila's whole appeal.
What's up?
What do you think of this?
Yeah.
Or at least some of it, is that it's like Ace Attorney. Oh wait, I get it now. Sorry. That it's like Ace Attorney, but with new gameplay. Now, when the game's being like Ace Attorney, it works. It's a little clunky on a controller and a little easier than I'd like, but it's fine for the most part. Now, when it's not being like Ace Attorney, things get a little hit or miss. You're supposed to, as the official Steam page puts it, play minigames as varied as turn-based battling and downhill drift racing. And this is where the hit and miss come in. You see, the turn-based battling is good, surprisingly so, in fact. The racing, on the other hand, it sucks. I wish I could say there is some redeeming feature, but I literally can't. It's just rock, paper, scissors, and then a coin flip. That's the entire game. They tell you what beats what once, and that's it. There's no visual indicator, there's nothing. But don't worry, because it doesn't matter half the time, because there are points where you either just cannot win or cannot lose. I thought I was goated for like 8 minutes until I realized I can just spam A over and over again. So like, thanks, Nina. Okay, the gameplay kind of choked at the end. That's fine. There's still the story. Well, some of it. Yeah, Nina Aquila is an episodic release, so we're only really this far into the story. I have my problems with episodic releases, but at least Nina Aquila is promising? I'll admit, I don't like how you get some pieces of evidence. It feels a little cheap, but it's fine. There's no one in the story that I outright hate yet, and Nina herself is actually an enjoyable main character, so good stuff. Moving on. Of course. Okay, look, I get it. It's nice to talk about your inspirations and to draw your characters in bunny suits, but just please put that in an extras place after the game is done. It's not just a total 180 from the teasers, but like, my parents saw this, man. I can't explain this to my dad. But whatever, I'm not gonna judge. So instead, let's just talk about the sound mixing. Alright, it's way out of whack. Okay, the voices, too quiet. The music, also a little quiet, but getting there. The menu sounds way too loud. I tried fixing it myself, but no dice. Actually, now that I think about it, a lot of the audio bothers me. Like the objections. They don't have that much weight to them. I don't like to compare this game to Ace Attorney too much, but you gotta get those objections right, you know? Give them that.
Objection!
That.
Hold it!
You know? Look. Nina Aquila isn't perfect. It can even be a little sloppy at places, but it's not bad. I ragged on it a little, but I still liked it for the most part. And I hate to say it, but I'm actually gonna get the 4th game when it comes out. Maybe it'll be better, or maybe it'll be more of just the same thing. I don't know, but I'm still gonna buy it, and when I do, I'll be right back here to talk about this weird uniocular defense attorney. It passes. For whatever it's worth, Nina Aquila passes. Okay, so 4 games in, and I already break my 12-hour rule. My bad, I guess. Also, Evoland 1 sucks. Like, it sucks. Massive balls. Awesome that it paved the way for Evoland 2, but it still sucks massive sweaty balls. I will not be talking about it anymore, so just pretend it doesn't exist until I mention it again. Evoland 2 is a game about asking the question, what if every cool game ever created made sweet love to each other? And then it answers that question by making those same games do exactly that. This game is constantly giving you a taste of so many games, like Final Fantasy, Mega Man, Bejeweled, I think. Despite so many changes in gameplay though, it actually keeps its own identity as an action-adventure game with its own pretty fleshed out world. So the game's a time travel plot, right? Probably because of Chrono Trigger, but whatever. You and your party are all from different times, but you all share the same goal of just trying to get home. Except for this one, she's chill. You go through medieval times, what I can only assume is modern day England, and spoilers. The overall story is what you'd expect from an RPG, but it's really fun. And I do want to keep the focus on the time travel because it's just that cool. You see, since you're going back and forth through the timeline, your actions are all just out of order. So the things you do later in the game are referenced early. I can go on and on about how this is just good design and how to point players in the right direction without outright telling them where to go, especially for the side content, but that's cringe, so just know that it's cool. Still though, the main draw of this game is its gameplay, and its other gameplay, and also its other gameplay. There's a lot of styles in Evoland 2. Some good, some great, and some kinda bad. The normal gameplay? Bueno. We love it. It's simple, puzzle-oriented, and fun. It's a little less than stellar when you start to actually fight things, but it gets you through it, so whatever. Sometimes when you go back in time, you do this like 2D mode, which is actually just better in my opinion. The platforming isn't anything to write home about, but you get this little swish thing. I don't really know what to call it, but I like to spam it. Also, some odd hours into the game, you get this card game. It's pretty simple and surprisingly fun. I do wish the game started you out with a bit more diversity in your cards because, Jesus, it's hard, alright? It's really hard. Speaking of hard things, let's talk about those difficulty spikes. Great segue, me, woo! There aren't that many, but they're definitely there, specifically in like 3 places. Here, here, and here. I just realized I can't talk about that part. Anyway, the first part is the shoot 'em up section. It goes on for a lot longer than you'd expect or would even like. If you don't play a lot of shoot 'em ups, be ready for like the worst 40 minutes of your life. The second part is the Bejeweled section. My friend didn't really have that much trouble with it apparently, but it rolled me several times. Just let me show you what I mean. That happened like 4 times. All things considered though, the game's still pretty darn good. I didn't get everything there was to get, unfortunately, but if I went back to do it again, I probably would. The Legendary Edition, the version I played, comes packed in with both Evoland 2 and Evoland 1, with no extra cost from just buying the second game on its own. If you were to get a version, I would get this one. One may suck, but it's a lot more bearable when it's free. You know, this game was actually recommended to me. It's really funny, actually. My friend, my bud, the person who told me to give this a whirl in the first place, went out of their way to do all that and even link the game, and I read it and played it, obviously. Now, that's fine and all, but I forgot to do just one thing. I sort of forgot to respond to them, and looking back on it, I probably should go back and tell them thanks, because man, this game rules. I can't even begin to quantify this game. It's not just one adjective, you know, it's this conglomerate of stimuli injected to your eyes and ears. Like, how did this dude even find some of this music? How does it work so well together? Like, what's going on? Just play the game, alright? I can't explain it. It is some flavor of good, or maybe great, I don't really know yet. And you don't even have an excuse not to, okay? It's free, and it runs on a potato chip, and you probably already played it. I don't even know. Just So 6 games in, and I'd say we're still going pretty strong. I've been trying to put more actual criticism into my reviews, so hopefully I didn't go too hard on anything this time around. I wish I could say there is some redeeming feature, but I literally can't. Since we're at the end of the video now, please make sure to subscribe on your way out, and maybe even like the video if you liked it. If you have any games that you want to see, or just want to look into the games that I've already talked about today, everything you need to know is in the description. And if you've already played these games, then, you know, maybe tell me what you thought of them. And that's about all the time that I want to take up today, so see you next time.